Hi, and welcome to the wonderful world of offshore, that place where it's a tax haven where you don't have to pay your tax. Those were the good old days. It actually was that way. And CRA never bothered. People put their money offshore and they invested it and they made all kinds of money. I knew that when the jet planes hit the Twin Towers, that was all over. Those were the days when I realized that offshore was time to just have a little divorce. There's an awful lot of people who didn't get divorced from offshore, and now they're having an awful lot of problems because of that. And let's sort of look at it and say, offshore. Why would I be offshore? Well, take the thought of having a tax haven and get rid of that. It is a really bad idea, and it's a really good idea if you like to fight with CRA. Because it's going to cost you time and stress, and in the end, they have the power to audit, and they have the power to destroy, and you may be the next victim. So, having said that, should you go offshore? And the answer is, it could make sense. Not to evade paying taxes. As a matter of fact, make CRA your partner. If you can't beat them, join them. Make sure that what you do, you're intending to make a profit and you're intending to pay tax. And sure, you can grow your corporation offshore in a zero tax haven, and that's all fine and good. Just understand a few basic things. That number one, you're going to be completely transparent to Canada Revenue Agency with absolutely everything you do. Keep impeccable records. Even invite them to audit it. Ask them, do they see anything wrong with what you're doing? And here's the basics of how that's going to work with Canada Revenue Agency while you're offshore. There will be a tax treaty with the country that you're dealing with, and you're going to have to pay the highest tax applicable in total, either to the other country or to your country, which in this case would be Canada. Now, the corporation itself, if it doesn't make money, you're not necessarily taxed on that if you qualify as an offshore company with Mind and Management Offshore. Staff, 6 people, phones, address, really doing business, not pretending. Not some agent pretending to operate a business from you. It's got to be real. And if it's not going to be real, for Pete's sake, don't be a jerk and do it. It's just really asking for trouble. And there is no transparency, no secrecy anymore. There is zero secrecy anymore, in case you're wondering. It doesn't happen. The countries exchange information like crazy. And Canada uses the IRS as a tool. Let's put it this way, that they cooperate and help each other is a better way, because they use us as a tool as well. So let's just touch on why would you be offshore? Asset protection, creditor protection. CRA is not going to go to your creditor and say, oh, by the way, we know they have $1 million offshore, because they're not in business to do that. They're just in business to go after whatever you have that they think they're entitled to. So it can be a rainy day nest egg. It could be a way to have assets and leave them to a beneficiary. A lot of business reasons, a lot of family asset management. Now, having said that, where a lot of people get in trouble is they set up a trust. And there's this, what I would just look at as an old husband's tale. These trusts are wonderful, and you set up the structure, and stuff gets passed around, and nobody pays tax. That's all a crock. Everybody's going to pay tax somewhere down the line on this when they were supposed to, just as if there wasn't a trust. If you're paying your fair share of taxes and you have a trust and it's really there to be able to handle assets. A good example is this. Have this offshore trust own a house. Your child lives in the house with their spouse. Your child and the spouse get divorced. The spouse doesn't get half that asset because it wasn't theirs to give up. That kind of stuff. There's a lot of things, a lot we could talk about with this offshore. Just get rid of the idea that offshore is going to save you taxes. Because even if that corporation does have Mind and Management, etc., and all that stuff offshore, when you get money, if it comes out of that corporation to your offshore bank account, you don't claim it, that's tax evasion, you go to jail. And CRA may not punish our politicians who are offshore, but sure as hell will punish you. So if you're offshore, you may need to get some really serious help about how do you unwind that and stay out of jail. So if you need some help, give us a shout. In the meantime, when you go offshore, find a nice sunny beach, enjoy yourself, but don't do any offshore business. Have a great day.